afternoon, all. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We have St. Andrews University, and they're ready to show us a little bit about what they have to offer to our students. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to them.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jan. My full name is Jan Pine Helms. I got married less than a year ago, so I changed my name to Helms. It's my pleasure to be here today and talk to you about St. Andrews University. I live in Durham. I'm a regional representative for the school, and I'm going to show you where we are located in just a minute. So at St. Andrews, we want you to create your own traditions. And this is a picture of our logo piece, which tells you some different information about our school. And I'm going to be going back and forth with this to share information with you about particular items. We are located in Laurinburg, which if you see the map of North Carolina, we are between Charlotte and Wilmington, right off of Highway 74. A small kind of rural community. Our student faculty ratio is 14:1. So, you know, your faculty is going to know who you are, and it's small classes if that's something that you like. We have one-on-one academic counseling as well as career counseling. Our counseling department is there to help you succeed as a student. Now, what about our community? And at St. Andrews, we have students, you know, from several of the states, 35 to be exact, and over 28 countries. And it's interesting to work with some of the international students. I've had an opportunity to pick them up on the airport when they've gone home for Christmas holiday or gone home for spring break. So it's very interesting, and they are great kids. Lots of diversity at St. Andrews. Now this is a video of our campus. We have two rather large lakes. This is our bell tower, which was damaged during the hurricane. And here you can see some of the dorms in the background. It's a nice, kind of quiet, peaceful place with lots of things to do for students. Now this is looking straight on at the residence halls. We have our own beach for volleyball. And this is looking into our athletic department. We are the Knights. And this is our dining facility. Our bookstore's in this building, and you can see it looks right out on the lake. We did have tables and chairs outside for students to enjoy eating by the lake. This is our equestrian farm. And you're going to hear a little bit more about the equestrian program later on in my presentation. We have approximately 120 horses on our farm. And with the coronavirus, you know, there's still some students working around, but we need them to help us with the horses. You know, the horses just don't go away. They need care all the time. This is one of our arenas. Definitely some nice places to take a run around the campus. And if you see light patches in the grass, that is sand. We are part of the sand hills. So of course there's a lot of sand around too. I hope you all are enjoying looking at the beauty and the nature that surrounds our campus. Now, we currently have 18 majors and 21 minors. This shows you the academic programs that we have. Some of the ones that are a little bit different, of course, is we have forensic science, where you can get a background with either chemistry or the psychology part of it. We have all the pre-professional programs listed there. With our equestrian farm, we have, of course, we have pre-vet medicine. Students get a chance to work out there and help out. We have game art design, studio art. And then I want to show you a couple of special things that are new that we've added. Starting this fall, we are going to be offering a nursing program that will lead to a BSN, occupational therapy assisting, and in sports management, we have a specialization in esports in case you're interested, and then sports performance health and fitness. That is a great new program, and we've gotten new equipment for that program. Great teacher too. And then in education, I was a teacher myself, and I really like the way they handle the education program. If you notice, you can get a specialization in physical education and in special education, as well as elementary, middle grades, and secondary. In our business administration, we've added a new program, and that's a specialization under the business administration department for criminal justice. You can see the other things there that we have that make us unique. Our therapeutic horsemanship is one of the finest in the country. We have athletics and athletic programs with esports. We have just built our esports lab with all the chairs, and I'm not really into that, but all the things, the gadgets that you play with. And so a lot of students really like that. And we're getting ready for a new group to come in the fall and make good use of that lab. If you want something to do, there's something always to do at St. Andrews. We have a lot of clubs and organizations. And if you come and we don't have what you're interested in, you can always offer it. Now here's telling about our 3 equestrian intercollegiate teams. Now, as you can see on my screen, and if you're at home and you want to take a picture of this, you can go to one of these QR codes and apply. When I talk about applying, it's free to apply. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. For our scholarships that are available, and a site where you can visit us. Currently, of course, we are not having any students on campus because of the virus. But if you go to our Visit Us site, we are hosting different Zoom meetings, probably 1 or 2 a week, that you are welcome to join in and learn more about our school and the programs that we offer. So, oh, wait a minute. Push that too soon. The admissions process. You can apply online, and I'm glad to tell you that it's free. We need a copy of your official transcripts, and if you live in North Carolina, you can send them through CFNC. If you don't have that program in your state, you can go through and send them to us through, I forgot what it's called now, I'm sorry, but I can get that for you. And then your test scores. Currently, if any of you are seniors and haven't made up your mind about where you'd like to go next year, we are waiving the test scores because all of the different testing sites have shut down testing, you know, just like everything else. We have a financial aid process, and you can go and complete the FAFSA. For any of you, even if you think maybe your parents aren't going to qualify for financial aid, be sure to go ahead and do the FAFSA because you never know. There might be money from the school for you. So apply online. It gives you our website, or you can do the Common App, or you can apply through CFNC, which is the College Foundation of North Carolina. Submit your supplemental items, come visit us when we're open again, and then once you've decided that a school is the choice for you, go ahead and submit your deposit. Your success starts here, and we are on social media. Some of you are probably much better at this than I am, but that shows you some of our social media sites. Now, do we have any questions?
Thank you so much for that. We did not get any questions in the chat box, but we can let students give them some time. Okay, yes, we are getting questions. So can you please go over your merit scholarships and what are their averages?
Okay, for scholarships, of course, the ones that are merit are based on your grades. And I don't have the particulars for that right now because I don't really work with that part of it with the scholarship awarding. But I have seen students get $20,000. You know, we give scholarships for athletics. We give scholarships if you're an artist and you submit, if we have an art contest and you submit something to be looked at for the art contest. You know, we sometimes have writing, just a lot of different ways to get scholarship money. And we have a fantastic financial aid office. I've worked for some other schools, and I can tell you that our financial aid office is probably one of the most user-friendly that I am aware of. So, you know, they're available by phone, email, and they're there to help you. They have someone who works in the evenings. So just let me know what I can do to help you in that respect. Great question.
We have another question. Do you know if international students qualify for those scholarships?
International students don't qualify for anything through the FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. But if they're coming on a sports team, you know, there is money for that. Like I said, we consider equestrian as one of the sports teams. And so, you know, you can come and ride and get scholarship money for that. We have a lot of scholarship opportunities. And so I just encourage you, you know, to check out everything before you say, oh, I can't afford it.
And would you happen to know if there are any scholarships in particular for DECA, FBLA, or other CTSOs?
Okay, now that's a real good question, because I know that this year, speaking of DECA, we sponsored some things at the DECA conference in Greensboro here in North Carolina, and I am thinking that we may see some of those scholarships in the future. But of course, anytime you have activities, you know, in organizations like that, you always want to put that on your list of activities or a resume per se, so that you can give people the most in any scholarship. Give them as much information as you possibly can, because, you know, I have participated in the crop walk before, which is for hunger. And if I was looking at the scholarship applications and I saw a student who had been involved in the crop walk, that person might get my attention. So don't be afraid to tell anything to kind of blow your own horn, because you never know what it might catch somebody in their interest.
Great, thank you for answering that. Do you know the SAT and ACT requirement?
Again, I'm sorry, I don't work in that part of the admissions process. I do, and it varies depending on your SAT score or your ACT score. We'll look at that. We'll look at your grades. I always tell students, if you've had a problem with maybe your grades in the past because something happened in your family, don't be afraid to tell the school or the scholarship committee about that, because they'll be happy to you know, work with you if they can.
Next question. Can students bring their own horse to campus?
Yes, you can bring your horse. There are a few places at the barn where you can board your horse, but there are a lot of places around where you can board your horses. Yes, because it's kind of funny, in the fall you'll see all these horse trailers parked over near the athletic fields, and students, you know, bring their trailers and they can park them there. You know, we have 120 horses, so basically we use our horses for competition, so that students are used to riding different horses. They'll draw a horse. If any of you've ever competed, you might understand that. If you want to bring your own horse for pleasure, that's fine too. We have horses that need to be ridden. We do teach lessons if you're interested. You don't have to compete on a team. So there's a lot of opportunities there. Great question.
Can you tell us a little bit about what a regular day at St. Andrews looks like for a student?
Well, for students, I guess it depends on what you're involved in. A lot of students, if they're athletes, they may have practice in the morning or practice in the afternoon, and they get their academics during the middle of the day. It all depends on the student. You know, our classes, if you're wondering about how long the classes are, a lot of them are, you know, an hour long and you meet for 3 days a week. Some may be 1 day a week. Let's say you have a class in the evening and it may be 1 day during the week. So again, it varies, but you know, I'll be happy to give you my information, and I'd look forward to talking to you individually about some of these items.
Thank you. What about some activities that happen on a regular basis? So what type of activities? Fall fairs, spring fling activities?
Oh, yes, they're always, the Office of Student Activities is, you know, always going. They, you know, planned a trip to go skiing in the winter. And of course, most of our international students, especially the ones that come from South America, may not have seen snow. They have bowling parties. They take trips that, you know, they might go to Greensboro, which is about 2 hours away, Raleigh, which is 2 hours, Charlotte is 2 hours, and about 2 hours to the beach. I know they've taken students to the beach before that have never seen the beach. Even students who live in the United States, who live in the middle of our country, have never seen a beach before. They have been doing disc golf during this period of self-distancing. They have done some activities where they can do outside and be, you know, 6 foot apart from each other. They have like different holidays. They have things going on, and like they might bring cookies in, and you could come in and decorate a cookie. Just a lot of different. I mean, I think that Student Activities Office is very creative, very creative.
Thank you. What about, do you offer online courses in case, you know, students are traveling with sports teams?
Well, what they do is the coaches always send out a list of the students that are going to be gone and away, and so they ask the teachers to get the work for them either ahead of time or give it to them when they get back. And the athletes know that it's their responsibility to make up that work. We do offer some online classes, and our MBA program is all online.
Wonderful. When does your application period open for rising seniors?
We have a rolling admissions, which means at any time you can apply. For current juniors, if you apply, we will need a copy of your final transcript from your junior year, and we can make a decision on that. I would say apply and get started as soon as you can. And then the great thing is once you have an idea of where you want to go to school, I recommend that you start looking for scholarships during the summer of your senior year, because there's a lot of scholarships out there and sometimes nobody applies for them.
Awesome. And then what support do you have on campus for students with learning disabilities?
We do have an academic counseling where they can come in and get special testing if needed, special, you know, get their assignments adjusted according to their needs. We have a great gal that works with that program.
So we got through all the questions in the chat box. If our participants have any more questions, feel free to put them in here. I do want to ask, why would St. Andrews be a good option for a student coming from the Triangle area?
Well, because we are only 2 hours away or less than 2 hours. You know, I live in Durham and it can take me, well, you know how traffic is depending on when you're driving. About an hour and 45 minutes. It would depend on where you live in Durham or in the Triangle area, but it's 2 hours or less. And so it's a great fit. You're away from home, but not too far. I would encourage students, when you think about it, is when you go to college, you'll get out of it what you put into it. Don't run home every weekend or you're not going to get the college feel. There are so many activities going on for students that they will keep you busy on the weekends.
What about for students who may not have a car? What can students do on campus during the weekends?
Well, students can come and bring their cars. We don't have any restrictions about freshmen. The cost of parking is included in the tuition. Students come in and you get to be familiar with people, and there'll be people who have cars and they'll say, you know, hey, I'm going to Walmart. Do you want to go? I don't think the transportation issue is a big deal. But, you know, I guess it depends on if you want to be able to go at the, you know, within a 10-minute notice, or if you're willing to work on getting something ready to go.
Awesome, thank you. What's the library like? Do they have collaboration rooms?
They do, yes. And our library is different than any other library I've ever been into because they've got a little snack area downstairs. You know, most libraries, you can't take any food or drinks in them. Yes, and they have tutoring available if you need help with writing papers. They can get books from you from other places if you need some. The library staff is really, again, I use that word user friendly, but they are there to help the students out. And they'll do what they can to help you get your project completed.
Is there a workout area for all students?
Yes, ma'am, there is. Now, sports teams have certain hours that they use it, and we also have a swimming pool. And so there's open gym hours, or the pool is open at certain times, and they post that according to what teams are needing to use the facilities.
What would you say is the most popular major?
That's a good question. We have a lot of students in biology. Our biology lab is like the size of a soccer field. It's huge, state of the art. Bringing on the healthcare professions is bringing a lot of different interests to our school. We've always had pre-med, we always had, you know, the pre-vet program, but offering those other programs that I highlighted earlier, they are very popular. And of course, equestrian is popular. We get students from all over the place to come for equestrian. The one thing I would like to tell you about is what makes St. Andrews different is the people. Like we told you, it's a small campus, under 800 students. There are, the professors will know you. You'll know the people in the business office, in our admissions office, financial aid office. when I started working for St. Andrews, I came out of retirement to come and work for St. Andrews, and I went to tour the campus in the summer. I was so impressed with the teachers who were there, and they were working on their own time, doing things, and I think the faculty and staff that we have on campus is part of the magic of our school. If you want to be in a class with 300 students, St. Andrews isn't the place for you. I went to a school like that. I didn't know any different. If I had to choose again, I would probably choose somewhere where I could have been more involved and, you know, more active in the school.
I think so. That's all the questions that we received.
Okay,
Uh,
great questions.
yeah, thank you so much for answering them and joining us this afternoon. We're really appreciate you showing us a little bit about St. Andrews. We look forward to staying in touch with you. Students, please don't forget to fill out our survey. I'm sharing that link right now to know how to continue to serve you better.